Hi, everyone. My name is Brennan. I am the founder and owner at Newaya. I'd like to do these webinars to talk about the different features of Nuwaya's trade-in program for carriers. And yes, happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to join. Today, I'm talking about a really neat feature that I just love about our trade-in program, and it's branded trade-in pages. Many of the carriers we work with use these, and so I'm excited to share about them and show you how they work. So with that, I'll kind of dive in and talk a little bit about Nuwaya's history. If you've got any questions as we go along, folks on the call have been on others before, so just use the chat and I'll read out your question and answer it as they come through. So for anyone that doesn't know about Newaya or our history, I started Newaya in 2010 in Fort Collins, Colorado. We have a trade-in program that is designed for carriers, and then we also provide inventory liquidation and trade-in options to folks in the enterprise and education markets. So we work with regional cellular carriers, but also with IT asset managers at large organizations and IT administrators at schools to sell off used devices that they don't need anymore. So we help them liquidate those devices. We will process about 30,000 devices in this year in 2022, and I've got 8 employees that work with me on Newaya. Very fortunate to have had most of these folks for all of the folks on our team have been on for at least a year, and some are reaching their 9-year anniversary this year. So we've got a great group that have been working together for a long time, and over many hours, maybe 10,000 hours, we become experts in the trade-in space. So we're really pleased to share some of this the stuff that we've learned through these webinars with other carriers. So that's us. We've got 2 different services for carriers, and so most of what I'll talk about on these webinars is our trade-in program. So we've got a plug-and-play trade-in program for carriers. We manage the logistics, we build the software, and it allows carriers to just drop a trade-in program into their retail stores. I'll be talking today about how they can drop it into their website and use Newaya as a partner to build promotions on trade-in. But as I kind of mentioned, for our enterprise and education markets, we also offer inventory liquidation to carriers. So as either carriers are consolidating their inventory, or as they reach aged inventory, overstock inventory, buyer return inventory, Newaya buys all of that kind of inventory, and we try and make it as smooth and as painless of a process for our carrier partners as possible. So for any carriers that are on the webinar now or are watching this in the future, feel free to send us a list of the inventory you want to get rid of at any point in time. We're very used to this model of receiving inventory lists and giving you a quote for what they're worth, and buying them if it works for you. So those are the 2 services we offer. Today I'm going to be talking mostly about our trade-in program that we offer to regional carriers. So for that trade-in program, that plug-and-play trade-in program I mentioned, these are some of the folks that we've worked with for a while now that we really appreciate. We've been working with them, and they've brought really interesting new ideas to the table for us. So we've built parts of our trade-in program around the feedback that we've gotten from these carriers. They've been really helpful partners for us. So thanks to everyone on that list. And then some of the carriers that we purchase inventory from in these inventory liquidations are here. And so we kind of engage with carriers on both different aspects, and we work with some of the best folks in the business on either side of our model. So we're really pleased and fortunate to have them here. Today I'm talking about branded trade-in pages, and I'm going to go off of my webinar deck, which I've not done in these webinars before. I usually just go through a presentation in a slide deck, but today I'm going to share some of the examples of these branded pages because I just think they're so neat to be able to walk through and show you how they work. So what branded pages are is a Newaya tool that is built into that plug-and-play trade-in program that I mentioned. And what they allow you to do is drop onto your carrier website, or if you have an e-commerce store, or if you have an email campaign going out that's directing towards a landing page, you can drop a Newaya widget that allows customers to find their trade-in value, and you can brand it and customize all of the different visuals in the way that this looks on your website to looking like a native part of your website. So we can brand all the colors, the buttons, the different styles, the images, the logo we can strip out, the text we can change. And so we make this kind of widget very customizable to be able to go on any carrier website and look native, look like it was designed by the carrier. So it's kind of white labeled in that sense. And so it's pretty neat that customers can go in, look up their current device and see what kind of trade-in value they're being offered, that they'd be able to walk into a carrier location and get that trade-in value. And there are two ways that we can set up this widget. One way is at the end of the quoting process, if the customer says, yes, I want to trade in my device for the price that I see, it can guide customers towards the store locator. Most carrier websites have a store locator, so that can guide the customer towards a retail store to bring their device in and get that trade-in value. The other option, and I think an option we haven't spoken about as much, that's newer and has been interesting to some carriers, but we've got other folks that aren't using it, and we'd love to share it with them, is this ability to set up the widget so that it, instead of directing customers towards your retail stores, literally generates a shipping label for them and allows the customer to ship the device directly to Newaya. And what's neat about this is, the customer gets a seamless experience where they're shipping the device in. It's still a pretty white labeled experience for the customer. So they might see Newaya's name and address on the shipping label, but outside of that, their experience is still going to be integrated with the carrier, because when Newaya receives the device and processes it, we process that device under the carrier's account. So then we inform the carrier that we've received the device, and they can apply the credit to the customer's account however they see fit. So however they already have set up, if the customer is getting an account credit, we're working with one carrier, for example, right now, who is using this tool they require a trade-in on every activation. Every new device activation requires a trade-in, and that trade-in applies as a credit to the equipment installment plan on the new device that the customer is buying. And so what's neat about this is it is truly kind of white labeled, in that the customer has to ship the device in to Newaya, but the carrier doesn't have to process it so that it gets processed there and then processed again by Newaya. It doesn't have to get processed twice. So this carrier came to us and said that they were interested in this program because they don't like the system now, because they have customers shipping them their old trade-ins, then they're processing the trade-in and sending them along to Newaya, or if other carriers are doing this, to their other trade-in vendor. And so this is an option that we've created that allows a carrier to put this tool on their website, to create a dedicated trade-in page, to brand it like their page, so it's kind of white labeled in that sense. And then when the customer goes through, they ship the device to Newaya, and then the carrier is informed in the reporting that we give the carrier each month, and they can apply those credits to the customer's equipment installment plan. And so it's a truly full cycle experience using this page, and the carrier, all they have to do is apply those credits. So Newaya handles all of the logistics, the creation, generation, and payment for the shipping label, the processing of the device when it arrives, and it means the carrier does not have to receive these devices, look at them, ship them back out to the trade-in vendor, and so it cuts out a big portion of the process. So we really love it for that reason. And that's the basis of these trade-in pages that we can create. One thing I wanted to mention as well is you can create as many of these as you want. So if a carrier is going to use them for, they've got one page on their site that is a dedicated, this is your trade-in calculator, trade-in value calculator page, they can do that. And they can also set up a secondary or separate promotion page, or 3 promotion pages with these same widgets on them, the same styling and design, or you could even do different styling and design for a specific promotion. So you could put text, you see here in this screenshot that I have, get up to $700 for your phone. You could change that to specific promotion text if you're running a promotion for a particular model of phone or for a particular customer. And then you could run an email campaign or a text campaign and send customers towards this specific page or a specific promotion landing page that you have set up with this widget from us. So this is one of the ways that we kind of creatively allow carriers to build promotions on top of our trade-in program, that we do all the management of. We manage all the pricing and all of the logistics and so forth. So that's the basics of these trade-in pages. And I just wanted to share one of the promotion examples that we've worked on with one of our carrier partners. So this is Copper Valley Telecom up in Alaska, and they generated a program where they are doubling the trade-in value. So if Newaya is paying $200 for a trade-in, they will double that $200 and match it, basically, so that the customer ends up receiving $400 for their trade-in if that customer is buying a Galaxy S22 series device. And we thought this was a really neat program. And we worked with Copper Valley to implement an option in our widget that allows the carrier to set a price that they're, what they're willing to match, basically. And so we can double the price. We could triple the price if the carrier was willing to come in and match by double, basically. Or we could even just go 50%. So if Newaya is paying $100, maybe the carrier is willing to pitch in 50. So we have that level of control with these widgets. And so Copper Valley Telecom can set up a page with a widget that shows not the current trade-in value, but this is, they can set up a page dedicated to this trade-in promotion that shows, maybe they already have an existing trade-in page that just shows the standard value. But then on this page, they can drop our widget in and they can show to the customer double the value. So if a phone, again, like I mentioned, the phone's worth $200, this widget will show the customer $400. And when that customer comes into the store, then they know that they're getting $400. They can mention that to the rep. The rep knows about this promotion, and so Newaya will contribute $200 to this trade-in, and Copper Valley can match that $200 on top of it with their own credit to the customers. Maybe it's a credit to the equipment installment plan. Maybe they're just handing out cash to the customer. But since the customer's upgrading to the S22, my bet is that they're putting that device towards the installment plan that is behind the trade-in that the customer is upgrading to. And so now I kind of want to take this opportunity to just show you some of these widgets that we've dropped into partners' websites. One of them is Copper Valley Telecom. So I had that pulled up. I'm going to resize my screen here just so it's a little bigger so you can see. One thing that we've done with this widget is we made it very, very usable both on a desktop, so if the customer's coming from a desktop computer, or on mobile. I know mobile is one of the big demands. So if you resize this screen to mobile, it still looks good, and you're able to use it very, very easily from a phone or a tablet. So we can look up here on iPhone 8. We can select our gigabyte capacity. Then again, this is the mobile version. So if we make it wider, we go up to the desktop version. So I can just kind of switch back and forth to show you what these screens look like. But I really we spent some time perfecting that style, so I'm proud of it. And we can choose our carrier. Say we're upgrading from AT&T here. We go through this series of questions. Is the screen free of discolorations? Yeah, it's free of that. Cameras both work, and are the lenses free from cracks? Yep. Do the speakers and microphone work? Yes, they do. Can the device be charged? Yes, it can. Do all the buttons work correctly? Yep. Are the front and rear glass on the phone free of cracks? Yep. And is the device's software functioning normally as it should be? And yes, the answer to that is yes. So we answer those questions, and then we get our trade-in value here. So an iPhone 8, AT&T, 128 gigabytes, our trade-in value is $40. And the way that Copper Valley has this widget set up is that we put in our name and email, and we get directed towards their store locator. We've got another one of these widgets that I'll show you on Gadget Guard, another one of our partners. So this works we work with carriers on this program. We also work with accessory manufacturers, other OEMs in the industry that want to run a trade-in program. And so on Gadget Guard's site, we've got, you can see we've got some of their styling and their logo. They use these arrows in their Gadget Guard logo. We've got those in the background. We've got some different text here. And in this version of the widget, we will actually generate a shipping label. So I'll need to pull up an IMEI number to use, but I'll do that really quickly so that we can guide through this process. So let's go through, in this instance, we'll go through as an iPhone 11, and we'll take an iPhone 11. Let's take an iPhone 11 64 gigabyte, and let's do an unlocked one. And we'll say, yep, all of these things are correct, and the phone is working properly as it should be. Go to next. We get a value quote of $150. We will accept that quote. And now it's going to ask for an IMEI number, and this is for a processing to kind of ease through the processing so that on Newaya's end, we know that the device is not locked down with any account locks or anything like that. And we can tell the customer to remove those account locks if they have them turned on their device. So let me go in and find an IMEI for an iPhone 11. Pull that up real quick. One that doesn't have an account lock on. So here we go. I'll paste that in here. And it's going to validate that device and make sure that it's good to go. And thankfully it is. So that one doesn't have an account lock on. If it had an account lock, it would pop up and instruct me as the customer how to remove that account lock. Now I can enter my name and my email and which payment method I want to use. So I want to take a payment via Venmo. So again, another thing that the carrier doesn't need, or the accessory partner doesn't need to manage in this case, is how the payment is being distributed to the customer. If they want to apply it via a equipment installment plan, which would be for a carrier, that is totally possible. We won't even ask the customer for how they want the payment. We'll just instruct them that that's how the payment is going to be applied, and what terms the carrier is applying the payment under. But if we're working with an accessory partner, we've got to pay the customer directly, or we can be doing a similar thing with the carrier, or with the accessory manufacturer. We could be issuing a debit card or a gift card through that accessory manufacturer. There are many, many different payment options, but here we've built in the option to just offer the payment directly to the customer, so they can see what options they have and choose whatever one is most convenient for them. We'll hit next here. So we're saving that information, and boom, trade-in is ready for shipment. So we've got some instructions on how to pack that device into a box, put the shipping label that we can print out here, and put that on the box, and then drop it off at the post office. So I'll click the shipping label here, and we can see already Newaya has generated this shipping label. It's kind of branded as where it's coming from, which partner it's coming in from, and then it's coming to us at our office in Fort Collins. This also gets emailed to the customer, so the customer doesn't have to just worry about printing it off right at this second. They're going to get an email with it as well, and then they can paste that onto a box, ship the device into us, and everything gets handled by Newaya. So that's kind of the neat ease of this particular part of the trade-in program. We also have both of these ones that I just showed, the Gadget Guard program and the Copper Valley one. We have similar styling there, and it's kind of a gray. They both have gray tones on their website. So I just wanted to show another one that we have set up with Inland Cellular. With Inland, their website, is they've got a lot of blue in their website. So when you go and find our trade-in program there, you see it on their website in blue, and you've got all the blue stylings that you'd want to see. So you see blue around this search when you're searching for the device. You can search for an iPhone 8 here. So we'll select that. Select unlocked, and then you've got blue buttons instead of orange buttons. There were orange buttons on the other side. So truly every, we could customize the degree of the colors of these buttons, the type of text that we show, the different images, stuff like that. So we try and be extremely flexible with the carriers that we work with and the partners that we work with on this to make this look as close to a native experience for customers as possible. I think this looks really great on the Inland Cellular website. I'm proud of it, and for them, they didn't have to do very much. They just sent us their colors that they use for different attributes and aspects in their website. So their marketing folks sent us those colors, and we implemented them, and we got that all set up. So if anybody's got any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. But that is the core of our branded trade-in pages. I hope you enjoyed the demo. We've got this quote that I just love from Luke, and I shared on each one of our webinars. We've been working with Luke Dillie at Viaero Wireless for a number of years now. And one thing that we like to do when we start working with a new carrier partner is we identify who's our point of contact at the carrier. And we sometimes have several. We have someone in marketing, someone in retail operations, someone in supply chain, et cetera. And so Luke has been one of our points of contact at Viaero that we work very closely with, and has just been an absolute joy to work with. And we've tried to match that experience on our end as well, being a partner to carriers, not just being a service provider, not just being a vendor that you can use whenever you have a particular need, but trying to be creative and innovative with the solutions that we provide. So that's thanks to Luke for giving us that great testimonial. Again, for anybody that wants to get in touch with me, here's my information. My name's Brennan. I'm founder and CEO at Newaya. You can send me an email or give me a phone call at any point in time. We love chatting with new carriers and other partners. The interesting thing about this particular webinar is we're talking about our branded trade-in pages, which we are now expanding beyond just the carriers that we work with, but also, like you see with Gadget Guard, to other partners in this industry that maybe there's something very, very relevant to trade-in where you're selling an accessory that's made for devices. When customers are buying your accessory, they maybe have an old device because they're buying the accessory for a new device. So there's a really great opportunity, and it goes without saying that we work with these partners on a financial basis as well. We don't just drop in the trade-in program and say thanks for being our partner. We generate a commission on every trade-in that we receive to any partner that runs this program with carriers. It goes to the carrier and to their customer with accessory vendors and other vendors that have e-commerce stores and stuff like that. That commission goes straight to the partner. And so as folks are trading in their devices using this program, all the partner has to do is install the widget on their website and let the trade-ins roll in and the money roll in. And I think it stands to be said that we're at Newaya, we're a very small business, and we care tremendously about the experience that customers have using our product, that partners have using our product, and so we're heavily incentivized to provide a great experience. And most of the partners that we work with are, thankfully, we're working with them because we're aligned in our values, and their focus is also on providing a great experience to customers. So whenever folks ask us about what kind of customer service experience or what kind of customer just product experience will my customers receive as they use your products, we are just maniacally we care maniacally about these things, and interested in making sure that customers have the best experience possible. And so we work very closely on the way these programs look and the support that we provide. So we provide live chat support to customers that use, even so if a Gadget Guard customer has a question about their trade-in, they message us and they reach us. They reach a small group that is really caring about their experience and the relationship that we have with Gadget Guard or with any of the carriers, Copper Valley Telecom, with Inland Cellular, that we're supporting. So anyways, that was long-winded. Thank you everyone for sticking on with me. We don't have any questions yet, so I think I'm going to let everybody get off to their weekends. But thanks for joining. If there's any chance that you'll be at the ACG conference in Nashville next week, I'll be there presenting about all of these various attributes and capabilities of our trade-in program, and we'll be there in person, so you don't have to just meet me through the screen. So hope to see people there, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Have a great weekend.